So we're back. You can see here we've got our province of Xanthia. Welcome back, and hope you're enjoying this series. Pretty slow going so far, but this is to demonstrate the mechanics. We've converted to Judaism, so we've got our Jewish deities, and we've left our migration units out, and now we want to remigrate and go back to our homeland or go back someplace else. So we've got 18 and 19 pops here. We can't move them because they're Hebrew, but we can convert them by placing our migratory pops into the city and then extracting them. So let's do that. Let's see how many Hebrew pops we actually have. We've got 14 and 15 Jewish, so we need 15 of our pops in order to have the city go to us. This is 17. I'm just going to put them all in. And now we've got 35. They'll run out of food soon. So you want to make sure you have enough stability so you can actually do this. It costs 5.62. You'll note in the beginning it cost us 6.99 to move, and now it's costing 5.62. So we'll do that. So we take them out. Now there's 15 pops there, the high Jewish. If we go to pop info, you can see now we're majority to high. We're going to move pops here because we can migrate again. So we're going to take from there. We're going to take there. We're just going to take all the ones we can take without depopulating. Okay. So now we can migrate again. Boom. Now we're done. So at this point, if we had all territories with slave or tribesmen, we could pull them and migrate again. What I'm going to do is, these guys have full food, so I'm going to send them out to these hills. I've got Untiring Devotion. This is Rudasarma Pascha is cultivating quite the reputation and as a decency and honor. Such virtues give our citizens good reason to feel safe, secure, and stable. Splendid. We get some free stability. So we'll move those guys out there, and we'll depopulate territories we don't need because they will promote them for some ungodly reason. Okay, so it's depopulated. So you can see right here, we've got a Freeman, and Freeman. So let's see when there's no conversion demotion there. He'll demote in May of next year, and he will devote in August. So May and August. So if I had more PI, you could change it, but that's okay. So now let's talk about where we want to go. So like I said, you could go back, try to get Parthia and form Parthia. You could conquer the rest of this land and form the Dahai, which is a federated tribe. So forming Parthia is a quick way to get to a monarchy, but you'll have to go to war with the Seleucids, and to form Dahai is easy, but you'll be a federated tribe. Your centralization will stay the same. So at this point, we are Jewish, and culturally, we are part of the Dahai, which is part of the Scythian culture group. You could, if you so desired, go here, which is not a bad area, along the river, or here along this river, and then form your state there, slowly grow up, and if you form it here along the Volga, you could slowly grow up. You could colonize all the way back to Parnia, and then conquer Parnia to get eventually to Parthia. And I think that's what we'll do, because if we go back to our homeland, you can see here not many territories, and also this is plains, great territory, right? Plus 4 food. Every other territory is desert. Don't, hey, we migrated to convert, and also because our homeland sucked. So I think we'll go back here to this area along the river, put our capital on the river, and it'll get extra migration attraction. We will still be in the region of Scythia. So as we conquer along, we won't get another governor for potential loyalty issues. And we will eventually be able to take on Parnia. It will also prevent Parnia from forming the Dahai. You really don't want them to do that. They're pretty powerful at that point. It's hard to take them down. I'd rather have them stay as a migratory tribe or form Parthia. And then I can take them out. It's easier. I found this easier. So we can start migrating back. Now the question becomes, where should we go, right? So, I talked historically, a couple episodes, talked about the Seleucids' strategic plan to get to the Mediterranean. They're not really doing well at that in this playthrough. The Parnes' strategic plan to control Parthia and Hyrcania, basically this Parthian semi-plateau. And then also talked about the Nabateans and how they continued on, formed a very long-lasting civilization, right? So if we measure civilizational success in terms of duration, they're definitely up there. So now that we're going back here, we can talk about the Scythian wildlands. So Scythia was very powerful. They survived through the Roman period. Still Scythia. The Bosphorian kingdom was never able to fully conquer the Scythians. And they continued to be players in this region, even after the Bosphorian kingdom became a Roman client state. More or less, the Scythians didn't expand, but didn't get conquered either. They just remained themselves with Greek cities on the coast that they could trade with, and continued to live their semi-nomadic lifestyle. In this playthrough, they're doing very well, and the Bosphorian kingdom is doing well as well. So we'll see what happens when we move back there. Okay, so now that we've decided to do that, we'll split this migration unit and send one back. So one thing you want to check is you want to check the route they go. And he doesn't have a lot of food for some reason. 16 and 16. Okay, so we're not going to do him. We're going to switch it to this guy because he's got full food. And you want to check the route that they will move. And also, what I found is, let's select some place where it's pretty good for a city. So this is Darn. It's right next to them. If we settle here, we won't get the full province. And the territories is fish, and furs. Furs are okay. They're not great. But really don't want to colonize on our food in case we want to turn the place into a city. So this place is on the river. It is food and plains, but since it's food, it's bad. We've got marshland here and food, not a good place. That's marshland food as well. And this is just wood and marshland. So it'll give you extra manpower, but really don't want to settle on marshland. Like to be on the river. So this Zelk is actually in a different region. Not a bad idea, but since I plan to colonize Scythia and control territories in Scythia, I want the majority of territories there, because if I don't do that and I end up with a small amount of territories here, huge territories here under a different governor, then that governor will become rebellious. So one thing to look at are the goods in a territory. So back to this is marshland, and that's marshland, and then this is woad, not that bad, and then this last one, it's leather, which is good for us, and it's plains. The only issue with this is, having my capital here is not a bad idea, because anybody who wants to actually take the capital has to go all the way here. So I think I'll do that. Why not? So on the river, it is plains, it's leather with local freedom and happiness, and it gives me light infantry defense. Now the trade goods in this area are 3 leathers, so extra 1 to trade out, 1 grain, 2 steppe horses, 2 furs, a wild game, and horses. Now it doesn't have a lot of food, it just has grain. It's not a big deal not having a lot of food, simply because I won't, our capital will eventually move to Nisai, which is here. So it's not going to make a difference. Now, alternatively, I could just put it on livestock, the capital, and in this territory you have livestock, you've got 2 fish, you've got a grain, you got 2 salt, and you have steppe horses. But what I like is I'm going to be battling, and having the 2 leather, 3 leather in my capital, potentially 4 if I get enough people in the capital, would mean that I get the bonus from the leather in fighting, and that's much better than having my freeman bonus of fish or having a salt bonus for legions that I don't even have. Okay, so it's decided. We're going to put it in that weird corner place, but it is what it is. So this guy's got 23, this guy's got 24. So we're going to send him. So now if I click and say, you're going to go all the way there to our new capital, which way does he choose? Okay, so he's going the Mediterranean, essentially coastal Levantine route, which is good. I did not want him to go through the desert. So let him do that. So now we press play and we go. So these 2 guys, so this is the next guy who's going to go. He'll go to the capital. I just send them all to the capital, and then redirect them after they get there. So those 2 guys are going. Let's check if we can move any. Nope, can't move anybody. Nobody's demoted. Okay, so those 2 guys are moving. Now, what I found is sometimes you encounter barbarians on the way, and sometimes they'll win, sometimes they will beat you. But the stockpile disappeared. It has come to our attention that a substantial amount of the state food stockpiles of the province of Yathrippa have seemingly disappeared overnight. The whereabouts of the supplies are still debated. Some claim a group of assertive Roman merchants swindled an incompetent clerk. Others that a vengeful god spirited them away in anger. In any case, the reserves are severely diminished. So we'll buy it back, spend gold and get food. No, I want my gold. Heads will roll. We get the tyranny and popularity, and they can always grow more. So I'll take the tyranny. I've got a guy who can reduce tyranny pretty well, so might as well use him. Okay, so now it's June. We'll send another unit, and we will go here and see if we can move some pops. Yep. So he's going. So now that's gone, and we're left with just Asura. And he will demote in September. So we'll wait for September. But prior to that, we'll move these guys here, get some more food, Okay. So now it's September. Let's see if we can move him and be a one-state minor. Oh. That. And that. So now we're a one-state minor. We'll split these guys and send them on their way. And boom. Now we're one state. We're local power. Okay. It's fine. So one thing to do, wait for those guys to keep going. The Nabatean Civil War has ended. The bitter Civil War ended with the loyal forces of Haffiatat, the first Balhanid, utterly crushing the rebel armies led by Semyafa Basari in his scheming corps. So you'll notice that this guy's last name is Balhanid. So in the Semitic language or language group, Hanid means servant of, and Baal is the name of the chief god, so it means servant of Baal. So, and this Baal appears in the Bible. It appears in a lot of names like Jezebel or Jezebel, and also, the name also appears in the Western Punic regions as the name Hannibal, which is actually a transposition, right, of Baal and Hani. Okay. So, all right. So we are migrating. We're going back. So one of the reasons why I'm doing it this way and then going to colonize here and take Parnia, because I want to give Parnia time to fire the events where they will attack the Seleucids and see how that works out. Okay, so rumors have it our loyal war chief, Kirabhadra Trepuskar, has caused issues in Euthra. How dare he? With some of our loyal men driven out of the area, there will certainly be more issues if we do not settle this discord right now. We have to hope none other than the other clan chiefs or officials take any inspiration from this little show betrayal, so we can quell the undress. So I can quell it with political influence and gold, or we'll just wait it out. Let's just wait it out. If they try to rebel, we are one city. There is nothing they can do to rebel. So this guy, switch him to that and get them moving. Another one moving. Okay. And then move this guy as well. So we're steadily progressing out. Waiting for this guy's food to replenish. Because he's at 5. And then the last guys can go. So we'll move him back there. He can replenish with him. Doesn't matter. They'll take their time. There's not much food. Satsuke. Sadyake Kadota has relaxed into a pretty easygoing, carefree style of life recently. When questioned as to why, he only smiles knowingly and carries on his way. Of course he's relaxing. We're migrating. So he gains secure. What is secure? So he's good-natured. He's castrated. So, hey, these daughters will never get brothers. Secure. So he gains some of his charisma back, and loyalty to generals +5. That's actually a really good trait. It's a shame I didn't see that before. So we've got PI. I could fill out my idea slots, but I'm saving it because I want to get more stability. And one thing we need to do, and we'll do it when it changes, is change that last religion slot. So let this guy's food go up. Let's see, can he get the maximum? He's getting 4 food each month, so that's pretty good. Is that 43? Let's wait one more month. Okay, so he's at 47. That's good enough. We'll split and send him on his way. You can see the first guy is almost there. Okay. Now I'll wait. So one thing to note is this is the high Jewish. Sometimes the people you leave behind will be a different cultural group, and then you can't migrate. So you have to be careful and make sure you leave some units back to do that. So you can see here, 6 Levantine, 4 to high. It's very close. So I'm going to leave this last stack back. And I will settle them in here. I don't want to settle 10 because it will cause me to have more than 20 pops, and I would have to migrate twice or establish migration unit twice. So I'm going to split this, settle them, and now if I go that, I am fully migratory. Boom. Now I'm back to where I was a couple years ago, where I was fully migratory. So we will split them. They have enough food. I will send them on their way. You can see I run into, some Bosphorus dudes. What's up, man? We're just passing through. So a good thing about migratory hordes, they ignore borders. It's kind of like, no custom fees. So we're just going to go where we want to go. All right. So the religion, I can change it. So while I've got the low cost to change, I will establish pop conversion speed. Now, I want pop conversion speed because where I'm going, or where you would go anywhere except Judea, there's no Jewish pops. So I want them converting. Okay. So, and I can call down Omen, and I will call Ezra. He gives you 10 stability, which is wicked. So now I'm already back up to 20. Switch back. And then this last guy, he's the last guy to move. And with him traveling, the first guy's almost back at the destination. So, all right. So now we're back. So you can take a look here, take a look, and you can see it's all heptatic. And we will slowly settle, and you will see how it becomes Jewish. The other thing to note is that we start out in 450, October 450, and it is December 467. So that means in the course of 12 years, we were able to migrate twice and convert religions. I think that's pretty impressive. So we're back. Like I said, I'm going to put this settle here. Boom. And now the only probably bad thing about this is it's probably next to barbarian power. I actually think that the barbarian powers there are these little areas, and that's why they're colored differently. But do I have barbarian power map mode? Let's add that. So map modes. You go barbarian power. Put that in the quick bar. Now, yep, you can see there's one there and one there. And this guy, he's got 0.10 chance, right? So these guys spawn a lot. And it's okay. So we've settled there. First thing I want to do is establish a fort. And now for the units that are close by, I'm going to send them to settle along this river. So I am back, and actually, so to fade down in Udre, I spend some gold and I get some stability. Okay, so now I'm back. It actually says I can colonize this place with gold, and I'd rather do that than because I want to save my population units. So now we're 2 already. People want to revolt. They like the new place, but they don't want me to be in charge. Very nice. So we're just going to settle along the river. So I just want to settle this whole province so I can see my surpluses before I start the trade. But what we will do is we'll turn on the trade. We got 51, so let's call down a sacrifice, burn some incense, and now you can see it's increasing by 0.15. So I talked in the beginning, the first episode, about the zeal and why it's important for a migratory tribe, and you can see why here. The ruler zeal at 0.09 a month, is incredible and great. So you want that if you're going to be a migratory tribe. So when I first selected Xanthia, they gave me a ruler with 0 zeal. And obviously that's not what you need to do well. So we'll eventually get our PI up and select some idea slots. The boon is pretty powerful, but let's go through this. So now I'll settle here. Just settle all the edges and then work my way into the middle. Caught red-handed, hauled in front of Clan Council. Manasarvari saw his sight. Caught with convenient battering ram in his hand, he is said to have been ready to strike down Prabhaske Kosika in a brutal act of violence. Luckily, passers-by were quick enough to act and prevent this terrible deed, and now we have an enviable task passing judgment. So usually I like to select, we shouldn't be too hasty, keep them loyal, as opposed to the dungeon. But in this case, he's the bodyguard. He's got 2 martial. He kind of sucks. And also, you can see here his loyalty is super high, and the other ones are super low. So to raise their loyalty, I'll do that. So and then send him to the dungeon. So now I have to select a new bodyguard, and now I get a guy who's got a much better martial. Okay, so pause the game. Let's settle. I think that so interestingly enough, this name is Ashina, and that was actually the name of I believe the ruling dynasty for the Goktuk Turks, who eventually controlled this region at a later time. Okay, Scandal. Scandal is unfortunately part of an average day in the Xanthi Clan Council. Ordinarily, we would simply ignore such petty squabbles. However, on this occasion, the scene Satuma Vaide was found in flagrante delicto with his lover, Tiske Kadota, by his spouse, Sumese Veda. Sumese Veda's spouse, overcome with despair, has appealed to the clan council to have him punished and stripped of office. Okay, so this guy, now he's the bodyguard. He just came in. He's got 44. I'm going to say it's none of our business. I usually don't get involved. You know what? You've got a clan. They have clan elders. Go and appeal to the clan. Why are you coming to the tribal council? Okay, so now we settle there. We settle there. All right. So I think we've had enough for this episode, and so once I settle these 2 places, I'll have to sign off and let you guys know, and we'll pick it up next time. All right, take care.